Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Bachelor post-show live chat with me, Bachelor Fantake. How's everyone doing tonight? We're on to week 6 of The Bachelor, and now with Estonia finished, we can move on to the episode before Hometowns. But before we talk about everything that went down tonight, of course, got to go over the chat rules. Number 1, please, no posting any spoilers in chat. Sleuthing is, of course, always welcome. Anything that comes from the previews, anything that comes from an official account, totally welcome. We're going to be doing a lot of discussion on stuff like that tonight. Number 2, I'll try to respond to as many questions as I can, but super chats will get priority. And last but not least, be kind to each other, everybody. And AJ with a super chat already. Always good to see you. Thanks for that. Do you think that Brooklyn was saying harsh words to Kat? Ariel's date was very awkward because of the nudist couple. What do you think of Kat so far? Yes, so one of the big parts of tonight's episode was Kat here, who came in and pulled Zach aside before the very first one-on-one of the week, which was with Charity, and but before that happened, she pulled Zach aside and gave him a big old kiss, and that set off the one of the big drama points for the rest of the episode. Everyone kind of ganging up on Kat, and first of all, I think it's a weird thing because like most of the time, I think, when it comes to like going for it with the lead at this point, like get the moments where you can, because it is so hard to get moments with the lead, knowing some of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, and even like when you're on dates, how hard it is to get time with the lead. Like even if you're on a one-on-one, you're only getting so much time with a lead. Go for your moments, but I think this was a horrible moment to do that, because it's right before Charity's date. Imagine the shoes on the other foot, how you'd feel if you're having this special one-on-one and and then someone else goes and like makes out with the lead, and then the lead comes in and it's like, all right, let's go on our special date. Not the moment, and you have to like understand that even if you don't really care and you want to get that special time with the lead, there's going to be backlash. Some of that backlash is going to come on the lead as well. It's going to come back to the lead, and you're just putting yourself in drama. So horrible time, horrible idea. Don't agree with it. And I will say with the Brooklyn stuff, I think it was a little extra, but entertaining in the first half. I think she overstepped it a bit the second time she did it, when she went to interrupt Brooklyn and Charity, kind of having a moment where they're talking about it. Kat was trying to apologize or something like that, and I think it was a little extra. I think pushing that so hard is going to make it a big deal. That's going to come back to Zach, and both Kat and Brooklyn at this point, dunzo. The sleuthing has shown that. Now we see, I think, why it happens, why, there's a disconnect with Kat that's going to lead to her going home next week, when, I think when they were in the Bahamas, everyone was saying, like, whoa, like, Zach is so into her. She seems like such a lock to make it to Hometowns. But, I think there was a point where Brooklyn was a little overboard, but I will say it was entertaining to watch. And what do I think of Kat? Yeah, she's donezo. She's donezo. But yes, we saw this week Ariel getting her one-on-one, Charity getting her one-on-one as well. The one she was supposed to get in London, and a a witchy midsummer group date. What happened to Greer? Yeah, another thing this episode, Greer, she may not have gotten a tea date from Zach, but she did get COVID. She was put in quarantine. She was not around the whole episode. It's crazy to me how she was the only one who got sick? Nobody else got sick? It must have, like, gone through a producer or something like that. And, or maybe, like, her handler or whatever was the only one who had COVID or whatever. And so it got to her. Like Gabby didn't get COVID, but Greer did. It's kind of crazy, but hey, apparently that's that. And so she was not in this episode, but she will be in the next one, and it does not look good for her. I mean, she was already on the outs with Zach last week in London, and add to that a week of not seeing each other, and yeah. So from the previews, it's not looking good next week for Greer. She's definitely not getting a hometown, but this looks like how it's going to end. I think I'd previously said, you never know with this stuff. Sometimes it's the contestant going to the lead and saying, I don't want to, I can see the writing on the wall, or there's just no connection here. So often it's the lead talking to the contestant saying, I don't want to waste your time, or the contestant going to the lead saying like, hi, and the lead saying, you know what, now that we're here, let's break up. But I think with everything that's going on and the preview that we saw tonight, it looks like Greer's the one who's expecting to, like, maybe get a hometown date, start things over with Zach, and Zach the ones he's the one who wins it. And Lauren Werner, thank you for the super chat. Really, really appreciate it. Hi, Fantake. It's great to be back. This is the first live I've made this year. Glad you made it. Hope your 2023 has kicked off well and you're enjoying being out of the 2022 year from hell. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I did get, like Zach, COVID. So 2023, it's I guess it could have been worse, but it's so far a lot better than 2022's start. Definitely in a way better place than I was 1 year ago today. Absolutely. So thank you so much for the super chat. And Maria Hernandez, good to see you as well. Thank you for the super chat. The thing with Kat seemed to like production push, to be honest. What was the conflict with Jess? Zach really screaming to the fire. He loves Twixes. Such a mood. Yeah. So on another drama piece from the episode was Jess here. She was upset that she was the only one. I think she had said she's the only one who hadn't gotten a one-on-one at that point. Although Greer, who was not there, she hadn't had a one-on-one, which makes me. I literally just in this moment. Conspiracy has entered my mind. Like, is it possible? Is it theoretically possible? Maybe we'll see next week or in the preview or something like that. That Greer actually had gone home already, and for some reason they want, like maybe for time or something, they wanted to, like put it next week. So because like maybe we only see Greer here. Maybe this is not in Hungary or something like that, which is where they're going next week. This is in, like, I don't know, Estonia or something. And so Jess saying, I'm the only one who hasn't gotten a one-on-one this week is actually true. Because she did say that this episode. And, I was like, well, Greer hasn't had a one-on-one yet. Maybe there's some, I don't know. Well, I'll keep thinking on that one because, I love a good conspiracy theory. But, yes, Jess saying, she hasn't had a one-on-one yet. So what's up, Zach? And it all kind of snowballed into her getting eliminated. I think there was like a moment where literally Zach at the start of the conversation was going, I see a future with us. And then she kept going on the one-on-one stuff and he just like, that was it. Cut. And interest gone, and so Jess went home, and it was all about not having a one-on-one yet, because I mean, like, it was a lot, but I also understand it. It comes to a certain point where if you're not getting one-on-one, you're just not gonna get a hometown. I mean, well, I think we've seen maybe once that happened. Like I think like Corinne, I think was it. That's all I can think of. I don't know. Maybe some of y'all in chat might know if there's like another one out there who got a hometown date without without having a one-on-one all season. I mean, there are a few that have gotten close, but yeah. So the writing's on the wall, and on the other hand, and when it comes to Zach, kind of a weird thing about it is he actually doesn't have a whole lot of control on who gets a one-on-one each week. I mean, I don't know the specific details, but like how much the producers know who he wants to get a one-on-one that week or whatnot. But often it's they have an understanding of who are the women that he's really vibing with, and then they kind of choose for him, from what I understand. And so it's like a weird thing that she's saying, like, why haven't I had a one-on-one? And like, I guess I don't know how much the women know that, so it's kind of weird. It's hard. It's like Zach is like, he's in a weird position there, but at the end of the day, wasn't meant to be. And I think even though he was saying, I see a future with her, I don't see her getting a one-on-one over Katie, Gabby, Ariel, who I think she's getting a fantasy suite, and we'll talk about that in a second. Charity, probably a few of the other women still around too, in comparison to Jess. So, and AJ again, thank you for the super chat. I saw they're asking for a grandma/grandpa. Are you talking about the senior Bachelor? Because I believe, that is a go. There have been, casting calls thrown out a bunch, and online on the show and stuff like that. Maybe I'll believe it when I see it. Because they have been pushing that for a while now, and maybe it's finally gaining momentum. It's easier, I don't know, to produce and stuff like that. There were a lot of complications. I think they were planning it around the time the pandemic started, which was like, nope. But I'll believe it when I see it. But I'm looking forward to it if it's going down. But yes, no, we saw in the last preview. So we saw this week Ariel getting her one-on-one, and when we're breaking down these like potential hometown spots, Katie, final two we talked about in the last preview breakdown. It's confirmed now. We've seen her in Thailand, the final filming location. Gabby we've seen in the final filming location for forever, since the beginning of the season. So that's no surprise. So those two hometown spots filled. The last two were a little more up in the air, and Charity, and I like way back when I'd made this graphic with Brooklyn in mind as well, but that's not going to be happening. Ariel is the other. We've seen these shots, and with this outfit Charity's wearing, obviously not the outfit she's wearing this episode at the night portion or the day portion of her date. So that means she's still got a kind of a one-on-one ahead of her. So unless she gets the hometown next week, which we know is not going to happen, we know that in Hungary we've got another one-on-one for Katie and one for Brooklyn as well. Unless she gets a mystery additional one-on-one, next week, it's this is for sure a hometown date. I mean, and also these daytime shots here make total sense. The visiting the parents and stuff like that. But also some sleuthing for Ariel here. This top shot didn't happen this week on her one-on-one. But also in the corner is a shot from the mid-season preview where it's a very fantasy suite sort of shot. I mean, this one behind me is a different fantasy suite shot, and you can see like this like condensation on the windows. If you look at the photo next to me, same condensation, and the corner shot, the trim, and there's it's kind of hard to see in this stream version, but matching the top shot there, the white kind of tiles, and same trim. So Ariel looks to be a fantasy suite. Fantasy suite for Ariel, hometown for Ariel as well. So she's I mean, it's like, it seems kind of late, a couple episodes before hometowns, but the momentum she's gained from this episode, and I think she had a lot of momentum going through the last few episodes. Just no one-on-one. I think Zach really liked her. So Ariel, fantasy suite, but that's it. Charity, hometown elimination. Ariel, fantasy suite elimination. Then it's Katie or Gabby. So at that point, flip a coin or go with your gut. Who do you think is going to be the one to win Zach's heart? But this episode, on like the group date and all through the episode, both Katie and Gabby got like little check-in moments, which I mean, they both should, but shows their lasting power, and stayed out of the drama. Yes, and also in the preview, another thing, Zach said no sex in the fantasy suite. So he's the anti-Clayton. He's the opposite of Clayton. It was all sex in the fantasy suites. So I think, like, for Zach, the man who's trying to stay out of the drama, I mean, that's one way to do it. Just don't do it. One way to do it is to don't do it. So I mean, it's a very like strange thing, this fantasy suite sex stuff, because like, one, you don't have to use the time to do that. This is like gold time where you can learn the very intimate details, that not necessarily physical or physically intimate details about the person you're with, but you can learn the things that you don't get the opportunity to talk about, like core value things. What are the things, the core values that you carry, that are pretty important to know and understand about your partner before getting engaged. On the other hand, though, it's also very important to know if you have that physical connection as well. For some people, but I think so. So it's a strange kind of situation you have, but if you do that with one, like, what are the expectations? And it's a very slippery slope. So like, what do you do? And if you say that too, if you say no sex, and clearly for everyone, you better stick to that. But we'll see. I think Zach will stick to it. Something tells me he will. I don't know. It's such a strange. It's like so strange, because you think, like, if you have like one person that you're, thinking you're gonna pick and being intimate with them, maybe that's okay, and then not with the others. But then it's like the word goes around, and then it feels weird, like you might be stringing the other people along. It's such a delicate delicate like thing, the fantasy suite. So maybe it's like so overwhelming for Zach that he's just like, screw it, we're just no, we're not doing it. It's not happening. I was on Gabby and Rachel's season. I saw the mess that happened. I know the deal. I'm not touching it. We are going up to the fantasy suite and we are playing Scrabble and then that's it. That's it. So, yeah, when did the no sex thing get brought up? Yes, in tonight's preview. So they did like a little section on next week in Estonia, in Hungary, and then a little section on like upcoming in the season. So not quite the extended mid-season preview that we got last week, but a little like bonus extra. So, who do I want to be the Bachelorette? Like not who I'm predicting, but who do I want? That's a good question. That's a really good question. It's hard. It's a hard one. I feel like I don't have an extremely strong like gravitation towards anyone so far. I mean, like they're like, we see more. I feel like we saw a little more Ariel this week. Don't think they're gonna pick her. And I would say I wouldn't have said her absolutely at all, but maybe a little bit, but not strong enough for me to be like super team Ariel. Like Charity, Charity I think is a great option. Maybe she's the one who I would be rooting for most of the group. Gabby could be a weird season, and I want the most. Sometimes I like the weird, just like make it weird. It's fun, like it's more entertaining that way, funnier. It's funnier to make recap videos that way too. So selfishly, that could be it. Or pull what I really want them to do for one of these seasons is like grab a D-list celebrity. Like go completely off the table. And grab someone like, I don't know. I always joke like Pete Davidson. Get him to do The Bachelor. I feel he would do it for the memes or something. And he's not he's at this point he's not like a D-list, but like he won't do it. But so you got to get the D-listers. So. That would shake things up. But I guess Charity would be my pick right now. Ines from Perfect Match. I've been watching Perfect Match. Ines from Perfect Match. If you're not watching it, you'd have no clue what this is. But it's basically like Bachelor in Paradise for Netflix. Every date she's on, she says, this is the connection that we had. Amazing. She's every single date she's on, she says that. So maybe she'd be perfect for The Bachelor. Maybe the producers would love that. But or get someone from Love Is Blind or something. Surprise. But I wonder if the preview's up, because they threw on that little special mid-season teaser thing. I wonder if we can get to that. Let me see. Let me just double check. I don't think it is. They never make it easy for us. Francesca. That certainly would be interesting. And then they could do the male female contestants too. That that would be quite the season. I don't know if we'd be getting the full on engagement. No offense, but. No, I don't think there's any preview. But I did, as a backup, as always. I did get. I did screen record it on my phone. In beautiful, beautiful quality. Beautiful, beautiful. Here you go. This is the beautiful quality that we get. But we can at least still look at it. Yes, Perfect Match is on Netflix. It's like Netflix in paradise. You got contestants from Love is Blind. I think I actually counted it out, and it's eight different seasons of shows, at least so far. Unless they add more people, there's only a few more episodes left. Eight seasons of shows, or 8 franchises maybe. It's like The Circle, Love is Blind, Too Hot to Handle. There's someone from Sexy Beasts, The Mole, The Ultimatum. What else? Let me see if I can get all of them. There's like 20-somethings or whatever. There's someone from that, and I think maybe one more. But and they throw them on, and they all date each other and try to find their perfect match, and they have challenges too. Selling Tampa. That's the last one. Perfect. Thank you. So. There is, like, at least with Bachelor in Paradise, there's like, it's all from one franchise, and I know, like, they come from all sorts of different seasons and stuff like that, and but even then you're going like, who's that? There's a lot of content if you want to know who everyone is. I've not seen all the seasons of the things that have been on it, just kind of the main ones. But there's like to know everybody. There's a lot of stuff from a lot of places you need to watch. That's one thing. I mean, some of it, like, I do recognize a lot of people, so it's good. But if you haven't watched everything, it can be hard to keep track of. But if you watch Love is Blind, there's a bunch of Love is Blind people. If you love Bartise and Shane from Love is Blind, and you thought, I need more of them. I need to see them find love, maybe or maybe not. Perfect Match. But yeah, Bartise, back, baby. But all right, let's why don't we take a look a little bit. March through this preview. I don't. There's never good sound for this when it comes from my phone, but we can kind of go through a little bit, but a little by little, and even just with the frames, figure out what exactly is going on next week. So, all right, next week they in Hungary. It's like maybe group date stuff or whatever. But here, yes, Katie is going to be getting one of the one-on-ones next week. We have 2 women have gone. So I think we're at like, it was 11, then 2, and then 2. So I think there's like 7 women left. So 3 are going to go. And I mean that it's what, Kat, Brooklyn, and and Greer. So there you go. So Greer, I mean, depend if she even is still there at this point. The conspiracy. But those are the three going. I guess that I mean, there's no room for 3 1-on-1s. Sometimes they do the 3 1-on-1 thing. Doesn't look to be the case. It looks like just 2 1-on-1s, and then a group date where probably Zach won't give out a group date rose. Maybe we'll see. Sometimes they do that too to make it more interesting. And those three going home. But Katie getting her second 1-on-1 of the season. And Brooklyn here getting the other. And this is Katie's. So here they have this meet. In my conspiracy is that maybe she's already eliminated. But either way, Greer's going to be going. They try to make it look here like maybe, I know she's, like she said, she's back and stuff like that here, and it cuts to him making out with someone. They try to make it look like it's Greer, but there's no way this is Greer. Greer goes home. We've seen already from the previews. So Greer is back, but the T is she's not back for long. And then the Cat unraveling. Here she's talking about this sort of stuff like do you miss me as much as I, like in the previews we saw this before. She says, does he miss me as much as I miss him? Maybe this is part of her downfall. It's already happening. We're already seeing the Cat downfall. So it's all the only question, I guess, is when does she go home? I'm guessing a rose ceremony, because I believe we're going to see Greer go home, during this time. And then Brooklyn is going to go home, as we've talked about. We've seen, this stuff here. We've talked about this exit, this sleuthing in Hungary, where Brooklyn looks to be going home on her date. A very common sight. The importance of the 1-on-1 rose, meaning you're getting a hometown, leads to the lead saying, I'm not quite ready. Brooklyn going home on the 1-on-1. So if that's the case, and Kat also were to go home like before the end of the episode or something like that, self-eliminating, or no, she wouldn't do that, but Zach sending her home before a rose ceremony, there would be no rose ceremony, which I guess they could do, and they've kind of done stuff like that in the past where, there's just, 4 or whatever, 2 roses left and 2 women left to take them, plus the 2 already from, or 3 or whatever it is, like from group date, and the 1-on-1, or however it goes down, where they just sit there and go, here, take your rose, everybody knows we're all getting roses here. There were only like 4 women left. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Kat's going to be there for the rose ceremony. They're going to have the suspenseful moment of Kat or Charity, maybe. That would be, I think, a dramatic setup. You get Gabby getting a group date rose, maybe. So maybe there is a group date rose. And Katie getting hers on her 1-on-1. And Ariel maybe gets the first rose at the rose ceremony. Comes down to Charity and Kat. It's kind of, the beef there, the kiss stuff maybe makes sense. Anyways, long story short, Kat will go home. And here I think there's a good spot to stop it. This looks like we're getting the trauma bonding date. That's another Bachelor staple where they all sit around in a black circle, kind of talking about all the things, that have hurt them in the past and their hardships and whatever. That's the vibe I'm getting from this shot here. I know they're kind of talking about hard stuff in the preview, so maybe that's what's causing the tears. This interesting. Sending someone home could be the rose ceremony. Pretty common at this point that the lead starts to like walk out the contestants. It's right before hometowns, so this could be I think sending Kat home at the rose ceremony. We'll see. And then this is the other this moment here. In the previews they paired this with this fake footage we now know is fake of Zach, getting ready to propose. This is in Hungary. I guess they shot this in Hungary. They have done that before where they've thrown around some fake proposal shot. They paired this with this to make it kind of seem like maybe Zach was broken up with, or there's a big breakup at the final rose ceremony. Which also the final rose ceremony rarely ever happens like this late at night. Rarely. Sometimes we see it when there's two people being met. Maybe the second part, one person it's a little later in the day. Maybe even the sun is starting to come down, but never this late. No, this I think pairs with Brooklyn's one-on-one. So that's what I'm thinking. Or maybe it's like he's got a rose there. Okay, that's an interesting thing. Handing out a rose. Maybe this is Brooklyn's one-on-one. I don't know. All right, this is interesting. This is interesting because that conflicts with what conflicts with this other stuff here. Be interesting to take a look at this because him holding a rose. I wonder if I don't know. There's some shenanigans going on here. Potentially, it could be a rose from the rose ceremony, but it's a bit weird. It's a bit weird it would be weird for him to be carrying a rose either way. Like, why would he carry a rose after eliminating someone? Like, he's holding the rose that he's not going to give them, or maybe they self-eliminate, but trying to think of it like why he would be sending someone home, because here there's like this shot like here, it's a match with this one, sending someone home, and then there's this shot. It's a weird one. It's a weird to me, no matter what, even if he is getting rejected, it's kind of weird that he's holding onto like this. Yeah, and this is different than this one. So this could potentially still be with Brooklyn. Maybe. Because we have seen this right here. This is that time. And it does match. So this is it's not some weird fake out. This is in Hungary. At an evening portion of a date, it looks like. I mean, I guess it could be a rose ceremony, but Katie's not going home. Unless they do the third one-on-one thing or something, or unless there's some like Greer send home. Like Greer does show up, and she's on. No, but that doesn't like this. This is like seems like such a breakup moment. So I don't know. I mean, we'll have to do some thinking on this because it is to me so weird that he would be holding onto a rose while someone's like, he's like, by the way, you're not getting this. So go home, or like or even they have on the one-on-ones, they have it there, and we will often see the like they pick it up and go, this rose means so much, a hometown date and everything, but I just can't give it to you. I just the connection's not there, and then they walk out and send them home. But to like hold it the whole way would be really weird. So I don't know. Okay, but that's the most. I mean, I guess so far the most interesting shot from this preview. But yeah, but two different moments there. And here's that fake footage, and here's the real right before proposal shot as Zach in Thailand. I mean, it's not the same shirt, but there he's actually with Neil Lane, so very different. But and I think it's here where he's talking about no sex in the fantasy suite. Which is what they're going over here with those close-up shots. And yeah, and again, this fantasy suite sort of in this hotel or whatever. Here he's with one of the women, but matches the setting we talked about earlier here for fantasy suite. So it's like more confirmation that Ariel is getting a fantasy suite and a hometown. More dramatic shots. So here. Now let's see. Can we, in this, and I'll check the preview breakdown. All right, okay. I think I'm starting to piece it together now. So originally I had said, I think this is Brooklyn. It's the night portion of a date. But now I believe that this is sending Kat home at the end of a rose ceremony. And he's heartbroken about it. Thus the shots we've seen all through of crying here. And this, I think right here, his outfit here with Brooklyn matches the one from earlier here. So this is sending Brooklyn home as we see this little like just get up from their date, because we know Brooklyn has a one-on-one. And you can see Zach here in the corner. And this, you see his little shoulder right here. Kind of a match, right? Even in this crappy phone quality. Match to here. And this crying stuff from here, it's nighttime again. Zach maybe got a nice little haircut for the rose ceremony. Here, because definitely his hair is shorter here than it is here. Zach's got the longer hair. This is him devastated, sending, I believe, Kat. It has to be Kat at this point. There's just no other hometown spots to fill. Sending Kat home. So I think, there we go. Because of this little blip of a get up from her seat, I think we got it. Do I think that Brooklyn is gone next week. She's getting eliminated at her one-on-one next week. So I think that's the situation, and it's still kind of weird, this rose that he's holding here. I don't know. I want what I want to see next week is does he say, I can't give you this rose, and he just holds onto the rose the whole time that he goes over and sends her home, or does he is he like crying there or something, or like upset, like, oh, this is so emotional, and then like a producer or like an intern comes like crawling in and says, here, like, hold this, it'll be a really good shot, and he's just like holding this thing. It's kind of weird, threw me for a bit, but I think we know what's up now. So there you go. There's your preview breakdown preview, because I want to be talking about that. It's good. We did some of the work here. A little less to think about for the preview breakdown, but I don't think that'll be changing. And then here, what is this? We've got a number of women upset. Need maybe a closer look at here. There's only 5 here. Kat, Ariel, Charity, Katie, and Gabby. So what this is, then, in my mind, they're at their villa or whatever. They're in their just lounging clothes. I wonder if this is them hearing or seeing that Brooklyn did not get a one-on-one, or did not get a rose on her one-on-one. And they're all emotional watching that. Because I'm wondering, like, I mean, it could be so many other things, just in the context of what we know now. Like, why would they be all hugging like this at this point in the show? And there's 5 women here. Yeah, I think so. If that's the case, then I think how next week goes down, we've got a pretty good idea of it. Greer, this business, she's not even here at this point. She's one of the ones going. There are 3 women going. There are 7 women left, 3 going. Brooklyn's not here. This, I believe, matches with Kat. This with Katie. And then I think Ariel and Gabby, Charity. And so, yeah, Greer going. 5 women here. They're upset at the villa in their lounges. The kind of door open here, because maybe the luggage guy just walked in and walked out. So that's what I think, which leaves 1 woman left to go home at a rose ceremony. The rose ceremony here, it's now Brooklyn. So a shift in what I was thinking. Brooklyn going home. It's actually a little bit different. It's going to be Kat going home. So I think we're at the end here. Yeah, it could be, I mean, theoretically, it could be Greer going home too. But I think the absence of Brooklyn makes me wonder. And I think we've seen Brooklyn and Charity close. Charity looks very upset here. So that also makes a lot of sense to me. But it could actually be them hearing about Greer too. But that's my thinking here. I mean, this can all change. There's a lot of context we can't know. You never know when some drama's gonna pop up. But based on what we do know, that's what I'm thinking here. So there you have it. I think we have a good little outlook for next episode and for the rest of the season. The rest of the season, the eliminations at least. So there you have it. All right. I think we can call it. Thanks everyone for joining me tonight for the post-show live chat. A little bit of Sleuthing too. And tomorrow it's back to recap for the episode, then preview breakdown. You got the good gist of it here. I'll take a more detailed look at the preview, match it up with all the other previous footage, see if we can get some more solid stuff. Maybe you never know. You never know what shot could change things. So stay tuned for that as well. That'll be coming out on Wednesday. And maybe even a bonus video for the week. Maybe even a bonus video, non-Bachelor related for the week. But we'll see. Also, next week, very likely will not be a post-show live chat because I'm going to be heading to see my folks in Mexico. I was planning to do this a couple weeks ago. They're staying there. All my parents are retired. They're staying there over the winter, so I'm gonna go visit them. So I won't be around to do the live chat. A couple weeks ago I got COVID, so had to reschedule. I will, however, still be doing the videos. So the videos will still be around. Just know I won't have my streaming stuff to do a live stream. So thank you all for joining. Thanks everyone who super chatted. Thanks to Think Story for modding. Thanks to everyone who just chatted, and to all you lurkers too. I see you. Thanks for being here. Keep your eyes peeled for the videos, and until next time. Bachelor Fan Take out.